personal brand is it. Like, we're in a world where you have to put out content and you have to like let people know who you are and what your value proposition is on an ongoing basis. I'm ready to go. You guys ready to go? And we're gonna go in 3, 2, 1. Dude, that was awesome, man. That's like super interesting stuff. Cool.
I don't get to go deep on the employer side stuff. I'm glad you asked.
Yeah, no, I mean, I wanted to bring in a little bit of a different perspective, you know?
I like that.
It's cool. But that was like great information for them to be thinking about. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Including us. Like,
For a long time, not a long time, but for about a year, I was thinking about trying to like start a consulting firm around what we just talked about. I think it's super valuable for companies. And basically the reason I didn't do it was I already was running 2 businesses. I was like, I can't do a third. But I think there's a ton of value there from the employer side.
Yeah.
Just to think about like who's important to us and what happens if they go away.
Yeah, for
because
sure.
I think most people realize that that's a problem that they might have, and they're not. They just don't. They're like, I can't think about that right now. And then somebody leaves and they're like, oh. We just lost a ton of expertise or experience or whatever it is, and now we're in a big bad spot.
Yeah.
It could be totally avoided.
Ultimately, like, I mean, I think that's what our responsibility is to build the team. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So we got to constantly focus on building the best team we possibly can. What's involved with that? You know, what are we thinking about? What steps are we taking? How often, like, are we holding the team accountable? Are we reevaluating, you know, our processes? Are we laying out our expectations and being sure that they're being met? I mean,
Yeah.
these are things that we need to be asking ourselves a heck of a lot more, and we just aren't.
And I think too, like, there are just different phases of building a business, right? Like, early on, you just got to figure out, like, will people in Gainesville buy scooters? I don't know. Let's find out. How do you find that out? You start selling them, you do marketing or whatever. But then once you figured out, like, how to build a business that sells scooters to people who want to buy scooters, your job is no longer figuring out whether and how to sell scooters. You know how to do that, right?
Yeah.
Or how to get clients for a marketing agency, right? Like, once you know people will pay for this service, and you've built a business to where you have inbound leads or you have a sales team or whatever, then your job is to manage the team, right? Because the business exists, and maybe you make strategic decisions about the business itself. But 80% of the heavy lifting is done. Now your job is to find the right people to execute on the thing that you built. And that's where a lot of companies, I mean, you see this all the time, like entrepreneurs who are early, right? They figure out how to build the thing that people want to buy, and they do not know how to manage a team, and their business fails. It happens all the time. Like, they have a great product and no business. YouTube is great for search SEO, right? And so you're creating a whole different, like, this is I think it's the second biggest search platform there is, next to Google.
Right. It's funny, I was like talking to somebody about that earlier this morning. Yeah, I mean, because we caption all of them, which helps with SEO and, like, you know,
That's smart.
optimize the descriptions. I mean, we spend a lot. I mean, it's an hour podcast. We're spending $60 through Rev to have it captioned, you know.
Yeah.
But long term, I know it's gonna be worth the investment. It's hard in the early days, and in the days where you don't have the money to make that investment. But like, I know it's the right thing to do.
And that's how I was building my business. I mean, all that content stuff I created, like, I was going for like text search, right? But not YouTube search. The same thing. It's like, I don't know if anybody's gonna read this 10,000 word article I just wrote. Hope so.
Yeah. You just gotta go low with it somewhere. Nice. Dude, thanks, man. Appreciate it. That was fun.
Yeah, man.
That was really good.
Great meeting you, Mike.
What's up? We are here at Pepine Realty here in Gainesville, and just getting ready to do a little talk with our team. I love seeing companies that invest into their teams, and one of the best ways that companies can do that here on a local level is by inviting local speakers in. And so they asked me if I'd come in and speak today, and so that's why I'm here. And I'm just gonna do a little talk. I think we're gonna frame a lot of it around personal branding because it is a real estate firm. I think it's very important to separate yourself from the competition, and how can you do that, especially in something that's as saturated as real estate, when there's thousands of real estate agents probably across Gainesville and other parts of the world, and that's by building a personal brand. So we're going to dive into a little bit of that today, answer their questions, and then we'll move on to the next thing. But I'm looking forward to it. I'll give you guys just a little bit of background on myself real quick. I mean, I've been an entrepreneur in Gainesville for 15 years. I started New Scooters for Less. That was my first baby. I was the kid that was sitting at the bus stop waiting to go to class, and this bus would drive by me with these big words across the top that said full bus. And that used to frustrate the hell out of me, to the point where I was like, okay, there's got to be a solution to this problem. What's the solution? And that was scooters. And now every time you guys get stuck behind a scooter, I get like text messages from everybody saying, thank you, Collin. I really appreciate this. Yes.
So let me ask you, how do you reconcile the ever-present need to be on social media with having balance in life? Because I find it very hard to do both. And so I max myself out, and then I uninstall Facebook for 3 months and lose all my progress. Then I max myself out, I uninstall Facebook and get off of it. So how do you balance those things?
And is that from a mental capacity standpoint? What's driving you to get off Facebook for 3 months?
Well, I just don't like feeling compelled to do anything. And so I compulsively check that kind of stuff when it's on my phone. But it's hard because then I'll log back on. I try to do it on the evenings on the computer, but I'll go a couple days and I'll log back on and see I missed a message, and go message that person back, and I've lost 1 or 2 opportunities because of that.
Yeah. I've never been asked that question before, and it's a really great question. And I'm going to come up with a brilliant way to solve it in just a second. But what I will tell you is that if you are not active on social media, you will become irrelevant. We're in a world right now where this is you have to brand yourselves, especially in what you guys do. I mean, you have to. I mean, it's already competitive enough. Why should I choose you over somebody else? And you have to be communicating that message all the time through social media. If you need from a headspace standpoint, a mental break, I mean, I respect that. I do that too. There's days where I I'll take a vacation and not get on my phone. And I think it's important to do that, but temporarily. If I personally wouldn't do it for 3 months, because I know that would affect what I'm doing from a business standpoint way too much. But if you could instead of doing 3 months on, 3 months off, if you could just find a better balance, where I would rather see you do 1 week on, 1 week off than 3 months and 3 months. Yes.
So if you're pushing, if the plan is to push more original content, and you have all these accounts, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, all that stuff, and you want to try to go in all areas. But for me, for instance, I know that between Twitter and Snapchat and Instagram, I have 3 different target audiences and different client bases. So I don't want to use, I mean, a lot of people say, oh, use Hootsuite so that you can target all these. But then I feel that if I'm, putting out that same content across all those different platforms, that it kind of negates the importance of, or the value of that particular audience.
You're 100% right.
Should I then stick to more if I'm Instagramming, then I'm just Instagramming. If I'm Facebooking, just Facebooking? You know what I'm saying?
A little bit. So here's my answer. If you like a platform, I definitely think you should invest more time into that platform, because you're gonna you just like it, you enjoy it, it's not work. The problem with social media is when we start treating social media as a to-do item, this is on your to-do list, I gotta check it off, that's when it's not helping your strategy. So it's just a task at that point. right? So that's not effective. Now, from a demographic standpoint, like demographics are super important, right? Like we need to understand. Like I understand that the kids playing around on TikTok right now, which is an app that most of you probably haven't even heard of, like they're going to be buying scooters in 4 years. I need to pay at least a little bit of attention there, right? Like I'm not investing all my time there, right? Where am I investing a lot of time right now? Instagram for sure, right? Definitely doing some Facebook, but we changed strategy a little bit on Facebook. Like Facebook now, it's funny because Facebook was for kids. Now it's not. It's for the old people, right? Hey, it's the truth. That's like, it's funny how these have organically gone up. So we have to keep that in mind, right? Like my strategy, my point being, my strategy on Facebook's like we will do some ad creation or content creation that is geared towards parents, so like it's just a little bit different. It's funny, like I was heavy on Snapchat. And then they came out with Instagram stories, and now I'm heavier on Instagram stories for sure. But I noticed that my engagement is better. Like there's things that are attracting me to Instagram stories, but am I ignoring Snapchat? No, because I don't think that would be right. Because, well, the one thing that I know about these platforms is that one of them can turn something on tomorrow and it's a whole new platform. Just like with Instagram. And that's where strategy comes in for a firm like ours, because we could create a 12-month content strategy and be like, all right, this is what we're gonna do, and then Instagram TV comes out the next day. Be like, all right, we're changing. Like we're gonna like flip. We're gonna start creating content for this because this is the next opportunity. And again, I just have built my career on seizing those opportunities. Well, thank you for having me. I'll leave some business cards and stuff. Feel free to reach out to me. I'm always down to grab coffee and that kind of thing. So, but yeah, let me know if I can ever help you in the future.
Thank you.
Cool.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks guys. So that was fun. Just got finished talking over here at Pepine Realty. Again, I think figuring out ways to differentiate yourself, personal brand is it. Like we're in a world where you have to put out content and you have to like let people know who you are and what your value proposition is on an ongoing basis. It's not where we can just make a one-time ad anymore and put it out there. We have to constantly be educating our clients, giving them value and letting them know like, hey, this is why you should hire me. Whether you're an agent or an entrepreneur, speaker, whatever it is, you got to let people know what the value is. So hopefully I was able to instill into them a little bit this morning, and they'll be better agents because of it. So making Gainesville greater, baby. Hopefully. If I did my job. See ya.